In an era of bank mergers, branch closures, and financial institutions that seem to change names every few years, there's something refreshing about a credit union that's been serving the same three towns for 92 years. Community Trust Credit Union, founded in 1933, still headquartered in Gurnee, Illinois. 3 branches, Gurnee, Grayslake, and Lake Villa. About 13,900 members, around $315 million in assets. 50 employees, serving anyone who lives or works in Lake or McHenry counties in Illinois or Kenosha County in Wisconsin. They're not flashy. They don't have their name on an amphitheater. They're not trying to expand into 6 states. They're not making headlines with aggressive merger strategies, and that's exactly why they're worth talking about. Because in a financial services landscape dominated by institutions that are either too big to care or trying desperately to get big enough to survive, Community Trust Credit Union represents something increasingly rare. A genuinely local financial institution that stayed local, stayed stable, and stayed focused on serving its community. So let's talk about what makes Community Trust Credit Union work, why they've lasted 92 years, what they offer, and why if you live in Lake or McHenry County, they might be exactly what you're looking for. The origin story is pretty typical for Depression-era credit unions, but it's worth telling. It's July 18th, 1933. The Great Depression is crushing America. Banks are failing left and right, and people don't trust financial institutions. And even when banks were operating, they're charging high interest rates on loans and paying almost nothing on savings. A group of community leaders in Warren Township, which includes Gurnee, Grayslake, and Lake Villa, get together and decide we need to help each other. So they form Warren Township Credit Union. The original membership? Anyone living or working in Warren Township plus their family members. The concept was simple. Pool resources, make low-interest loans to members who need them. Pay decent rates on savings, operate as a cooperative not-for-profit. People helping people. For the next several decades, that's exactly what they did. They stayed small. They stayed focused on Warren Township. They grew slowly, organically, as the community grew. In the early 1990s and 2000s, they did merge with a few other small local credit unions. North Lakes Teachers Credit Union in 1991, Keystone Printing Credit Union in 1993, Lake County Postal Credit Union in 2005, but these weren't aggressive acquisitions. These were small local institutions combining forces to better serve their members. And at some point, they changed their name from Warren Township Credit Union to Community Trust Credit Union, but the mission stayed the same. Fast forward to today, and Community Trust Credit Union is still basically the same thing. 3 branches, same geographic area, still serving the same communities, still operating with that Depression-era philosophy of community members helping each other. And in 2026, that kind of stability is actually pretty remarkable. Think about what's happened in banking over the last 20 years. The 2008 financial crisis, massive consolidation, big banks getting bigger, small banks disappearing, credit unions merging or closing because they can't afford the technology investments and regulatory compliance costs. Community Trust Credit Union just kept going. Steady, stable, boring in the best possible way. So what do they actually offer? All the standard credit union products you'd expect. Checking accounts, savings accounts, money market accounts, CDs, IRAs, online banking and bill pay, mobile banking, debit cards, credit cards, auto loans, new and used, refinancing, home loans and mortgages, home equity loans and lines of credit, personal loans, credit cards. They've got investment services, insurance products, a vehicle buying service, tax preparation and filing, credit reports and monitoring. They're federally insured by the NCUA up to $250,000, so your money is safe. Are their rates absolutely the best in the country? Probably not. Are their technology and mobile app features cutting edge? Probably not. But here's what they are. Solid, reliable, competitive, and local. When you call Community Trust Credit Union, you're probably going to talk to someone who works in one of those 3 branches. When you have a problem, you can walk into the Gurnee, Grayslake, or Lake Villa location and talk to an actual human being who knows the area, knows the community, and has the authority to help you. Their hours are good. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and Saturdays, 9 to 1 at their main Gurnee location. And here's the thing about small local credit unions that people don't always appreciate. They know their members. I found a review from a woman whose husband passed away suddenly. She was in shock, didn't know what to do, had to deal with closing accounts and transferring assets. And she said that the staff at Community Trust Credit Union walked her through everything, treated her with compassion, made a horrible situation a little bit easier. That's not something you get from a massive national bank when you're an account number. Now let's talk about what Community Trust Credit Union doesn't have. They don't have branches all over the country. They've got 3 locations. If you move out of Lake or McHenry County, you're going to need to find a new credit union. They don't have tons of surcharge-free ATMs. They've got 4 ATMs at the branches. If you need cash and you're not near one of those, you'll probably pay a fee. They're not going to have the absolute highest savings rates or the lowest loan rates you can find. Online banks and big credit unions with economies of scale can sometimes beat them on pure numbers. Their mobile app and online banking probably aren't going to blow your mind with features. They've got the basics: check balances, transfer money, pay bills, mobile check deposit, but don't expect cutting-edge fintech innovation. So if you're someone who travels a lot, needs branches nationwide, wants the most technologically advanced banking app, or is obsessed with maximizing every basis point of interest, Community Trust Credit Union might not be your best option. But if you're someone who lives or works in Lake or McHenry County, values personal service over maximum convenience, then Community Trust Credit Union is worth serious consideration. Let's talk about their philosophy for a second, because I think it matters. Community Trust Credit Union's pitch isn't, "We're the biggest," or "We're the fastest growing," or "We have billions of dollars of assets under management," or that we're even the most innovative in technology. Their pitch is, "We've been here for 92 years. We're not going anywhere. We know this community. We're owned by our members. We're stable, solid, and we're here to serve you." In their own words, throughout this turmoil, Community Trust Credit Union has remained a solid, stable, not-for-profit and permanent fixture serving our communities. That's refreshingly honest. They're not promising to change your life or revolutionize banking. They're just saying, we're reliable, we're local, and we'll still be here in another 92 years. They're not flashy, not fancy, just solid, stable, local banking from people who actually live and work in your community. And sometimes that's exactly what you need. Ever wonder why we pay the piper? Or how bankers saved millions during wartime? Money isn't just currency, it's a story spanning centuries, filled with fascinating tales you won't believe. In Money is Faxinating, Peter uncovers over 100 incredible stories about the thing that makes the world go round. From hilarious banking blunders to mind-blowing facts about modern finance, discover why money is more fascinating than you ever imagined. Money is Faxinating. Available now wherever books are sold.